All right, guys, how's it going? I'm going to have to put these on. Right? My eyes, I've been up since about 6 this morning. I can't sleep anymore, guys. It's doing me head in. I'm feeling really sorry for myself. Honestly, if you're in your 20s, 30s, teens, anything, whatever you are, if you're younger than me, enjoy yourself. Because I tell you what, when you get to my age, I'm 49, I'm 15 September if I make it. Right, you can't sleep. You're up all night fucking pissing, toilet and back, toilet and back, toilet and back. You have things going out of every hole in your body going. Do you know what I mean? It's a fucking nightmare. You've been through so much shit by the time you get to my age. Honest, guys, fucking enjoy it, man. Seriously. And my eyes are just stinging all the time. I'm really fucking fed up, man. I'm pissed off with it. And I've had all the jokes. I know the third Ronnie, Norris from Coronation Street, Matthew Beale, I know. But these just reflect. They're not. I bought them from Amazon. They're about £6. They just reflect the light. You know what I'm saying? Got to protect my eyes a little bit. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, good. So Pedro the Parrot, he's had his wings clipped as Pedro. Pedro the Parrot. Pedro Sepulveda, is it? I can't remember his name. Portuguese journalist in Portugal with a Portuguese audience covering Portuguese football for Portuguese football fans, tweeting non-stop in English for Liverpool fans at the moment, basically. Trying to raise his profile and that. I don't think he's, a bad person or anything like that. I think it's obvious that he's got some kind of dialogue with Ruben Amorim's agent, but I also think that, you don't get provided running commentary usually by people that you're close to, sources at clubs or with agents or players or whatever. They give you a bit here and there. And I think that in between, like his little updates and friendship that he's got going on there, he just throws out the extra bit sometimes, which I think we need to be cautious about. And I'm going to show you proof of that in a second. So he predominantly uses X, social media, X, Twitter, to get his message out to his audience. And I've commented, recently that some of his posts on X have been community noted. Now, I know some of you already know what that means, and I'm sorry to repeat myself if you've already heard this, but you have to remember we do get new followers all the time. And on X, there's a feature called Community Notes, where you can be a community notes volunteer. You can apply to be a community notes volunteer, and I am one. Now, I do not community note football stuff because you'd be there all day, because 99.9% of the stuff, the claims on there is nonsense, right? I tend to use it for other subjects that I might have a bit of knowledge in. And basically, when you see something on community notes, when you think that's fake news, that's nonsense, that's rubbish, that's a lie, or, not everyone deliberately misleads. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes people might retweet, it's called reposting, that repost something, or might say something that they're passing in good faith. And someone can comment and say, actually, that's not true. Here's a link to what was actually said. They do it with Donald Trump all the time, for example, the Don, right? China. They'll say, oh, he said this, blah, 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 the left media or whatever in America. And it's like, that's not actually what he said. And then you'll see underneath, community notes where it says, no, this is what he actually said, the full thing. And it's right, and it should be like that. Wherever you are with your political standings, I'm not biased at all. You should, whether you're left or right, wherever, you need to win your arguments fair and square. I believe that, and I can't stand bullshit, you know what I mean? So with community notes, if you're a community notes, volunteer, you can respond to something and say, hang on a minute, that's not right. I don't think I've ever felt the need to raise a community note, but I've certainly upvoted or downvoted them. So Pedro the Parrot, he's been getting some of his posts community noted, which means that people are saying, hang on, what you're saying is not true, right? And I think for a journalist, a football journalist, I think that's rather embarrassing. And it's something I don't think I've really seen that before on any of the other football journalists' accounts. So I think someone is going along the same lines of what I've been trying to say to you for weeks, because when he first surfaced, Pedro the Parrot, when he was let out of his cage, some fan accounts, I would call them commercial fan accounts, started having him on podcasts and, stuff like that, giving him an audience, giving him a platform, which I think is rather embarrassing because it shows that they're not as intelligent as you and I, right? And this guy's getting pulled up. People are saying, you're full of shit. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine. Now, I want to give you an example. I need to just put this in airplane mode because I don't want, there's someone messaging me at the moment. I don't want you to see those messages, you know what I'm saying? So he put a tweet out the other day, claim about Ruben Amorim and Liverpool Football Club, and somebody raised a community note. Now, you don't see that as a normal user of X unless you are a community notes volunteer. And it can say, this has been flagged. Do you agree with it? Yes or no? And then you get options as to why you agree with it. Like, it's fair and neutral language, unbiased, cites credible sources, is clear to understand, etc., etc. You can agree or disagree. And so if you're just casually browsing his timeline or a tweet, you wouldn't see that something he's saying was being debated by the community notes people to see if there should be a note attached to it. Now, I did mention this the other day, actually. Now, on one of his tweets, someone's put, and this is currently rated helpful, so it's now approved and has now appeared under one of his tweets. So imagine that. Imagine putting out, you're like exclusive or I've got this, but underneath, everyone in the world can see this guy's chatting shit somewhere. And then reasons for why. So this one just says, non-reliable source, mostly used for engagement and clickbait. Amorim already said there's no contacts on any club. And then there's a link here at the bottom. Do you see that? Yeah. Now, do you see the bit at the top where it says post unavailable? Yeah. That means that Pedro the Parrot can now see what I've just read to you underneath. So he's been community noted. It's on that tweet. Everyone in the world can see it, including him. And it says post unavailable, he's deleted it. Do you know what I mean? Now, the fact that he's deleted it, he's embarrassed, right? He's embarrassed. But there's two ways you could handle that, right? You can delete it and pretend it never happened, which is what he's doing, right? Or you could repost it with a comment to it and say, hey, I feel really sorry that, you've added this community note to me, but I'm standing by what I said. And these are the reasons why I'm standing by what I said. Because that is what I would do. So if I made a claim, which I don't really do that on social media, because why do I need to fucking entertain these people? The only people I need to entertain, is you, my friends. You might be a casual viewer watching this and thinking, I'm not your friend. No, but my YouTube channel exists for my friends that I've built up over 26 years doing Cop Talk. This is a side thing to do with the website. And the majority of people that are in the comments here are people that I consider friends. So I'm only here for you guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm not there to entertain them fuckers. So if someone did it to me, I wouldn't just delete it and say, I'd be like, oh, yeah, hang on a minute. You fucking community note me as much as you want. But I stand by my claims. Even if he can't back it up, right? He could at least say, fine, but, I'm standing by what I said. That's what I would do, personally. And I think that the fact that he's deleted it kind of tells you that he is telling a few porkies to raise awareness. Do you know what I mean? But I will say this, right? Pedro the Parrot might be the highlight of 2024. We have these little, I do, don't I? Give these little nicknames and that. Somebody left a comment last night, and you guys, man, this is why I love the comments more than anything. And I couldn't stop laughing. And I'm gonna use it. I turned Wi-Fi off, I'm gonna use it, but I need to acknowledge you before I use it. Otherwise, you'll go, hang on a minute, I said that. Right, hang on a minute, let's see if I can find it. I bet I can't. Oh, it made me laugh like mad. No. No, 3 days ago. I'll find it at some point. But one of you came up with something to do with Pedro the Parrot, just like another saying. That's really funny. I don't know what it is. Anyway, what I was going to say. So, as much as we're having a bit of a giggle here about Pedro the Parrot, what I don't like in life is bullies, you know, or bullying. But we're not bullying him. We're just having a bit of banter, right? I don't like bullying or anything. And why should he be singled out more than any of the other people that are out there? Do you know what I mean? I kind of like bring awareness to you to say, just be careful, because this is what was happening when Pedro the Parrot first surfaced. The majority of people had never heard of him. But then these people who were trying to push their own, you know, promote their own things or whatever, they want you to believe things that they post. So they were saying, you know, we're bigging this Pedro the Parrot up and interviewing him and saying the reliable Pedro Sepulveda or whatever he's called, blah, blah, blah. And then people trust these people. Do you know what I mean? Listen, it might not be an account here, you know what I mean? These might be all nicer people, I don't know. But I'm always very suspicious of people that say they're ever reliable, they're trusted, whoever. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't know yourself whether that person is reliable or not, or can be trusted or not, don't take anyone else's opinion for it. Form your own opinion. I always say that to you, don't I? I'll tell you something and I'll say, but you make your own opinions. Do you know what I mean? I just think that people can be a bit gullible and listen to them. Oh, they've said trusted, he got this right, so it must be worth listening. And it's because they want to lure you in. They want to lure you into what they're trying to do. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe you don't give a fuck, but I do. I don't like, at the end of the day, I don't want my friends misleading. Pedro the Parrot, 99% of the time, I think he's chatting shit. I think that if Ruben Amorim is appointed Liverpool manager, which at the time of recording, I think he will be, we're going to hear a lot more from Pedro the Parrot. Do you know what I mean? Because he'll be talking about Liverpool transfers forever, won't he? Do you know what I mean? So, but the point I'm trying to say here is, right, okay, weeks ago I said be cautious with this guy. I think I give reasons why, fair reasons why. You've now got people flagging his stuff and putting links to things contradicting him and saying this guy can't be trusted. He's now trying to hide that, which isn't a good look. But at the same time, even though I'm like telling you to be careful, I kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, because there are journalists that have fed us bullshit for years and no one touches their posts on social media. Do you know what I mean, guys? That's the bit I don't like. So he's a journalist. Whatever his claims are, we collectively will decide whether we want to believe them or not. And I think some of the things that he says are worth believing, because I do think they come direct from Ruben Amorim's agent. But the other stuff, you know, it's just trying to raise his profile. Anyway, what was the reason for the video, Chubbs? Well, the reason for the video was to tell you that he's been community noted again. He's deleted what someone said, oh, you're fucking lying. He hasn't addressed that and gone, no, I'm not. I'm fucking telling you, if you think I'm a liar or not. I mean, I would say that. People leave shitty comments on me all the time. And if that's what you think, mate, fine. But it's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. You believe what you want. I'll believe what I want. I'll never try and change your opinion. Just think what you fucking like. Do you know what I mean? But he's bottled it and gone, oh, do you know what I mean? So I'm just letting you know, he's been community noted. Trying to explain what community notes means, because some people have asked in the comments, what does that mean? And I've given you an explanation for it. Okay, so if I see any journalist being community noted, I will make videos about that so you can be aware of it, because you will not see those suggestions for community notes, the things that are being discussed by the moderators, if you're not a community notes volunteer. Does that make sense, right? Because I think it's important. You know, and I'd do exactly the same thing. If someone, you know, community noted Paul Joyce, Born Again Joyce, or David Ornstein, and said, actually, what they're claiming is wrong because this is what was said on that day, I'd tell you that too. You know, I don't understand why they're picking on this guy. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? You know what? I think that spells my personality out all over. Like, I'm looking out for you. Don't fucking, don't trust this guy. Keep an eye on what he says. Take it with a pinch of salt. Do you know what I mean? Oh, here we go. Pedro the fucking parrot, blah, 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 blah. And then, when people have a go at it, I'm like, hey, leave him alone, man. What's that all about? I mean, I'm just being a fair guy. Just trying to be fair. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to, these journalists, they get on your fucking tits, don't they? Especially some of these fucking Liverpool ones, in England. But I just don't understand, why is he getting all this shit, not the others as well? I don't know. Right, anyway, that's it. That's all I had to say on that front. I'm supposed to be going out to a party this afternoon. I'm not in the mood for it at all, to be honest with you, so I don't want tomorrow to be a write-off. I'm thinking of just taking some Diet Cokes up there, but can you imagine all my mates if I rock up with a bag of Diet Cokes, middle of the afternoon in sun? I really don't want to drink. Peer pressure. Right, if you appreciate the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment. What do you think about Pedro? But he's fucking annoying. Like, listen, I'm not trying to get him any fans here, right? He's full of shit majority of the time. But you see my point, like, why is he getting singled out, not the others? Leave me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button. Maybe I'm drinking too much coffee, and that's why I can't fucking sleep. Although I only have a coffee in the morning. Why did I sound high-pitched then? Read the video description. Please join the newsletter. It's free. And the chat room, and connect with me on social media. Everything is in the video description. Every link you could possibly want, I think, apart from Pornhub. Could do with a new site, really. My niche don't get updated very often on there. I feel like I'm on fucking first name terms with some of these people. Right, Mo, I'll see you in a bit.